my ladies and gentlemen of my Alpha family, I greet you not with peace, but with fire in my breath and steel in my blood. Tonight, we do not whisper promises of glory. We howl it into the black heavens until the stars themselves tremble. You stand at the edge of the world you once knew, the world that told you to wait, to kneel, to apologize for the storm that sleeps inside you. But now, look at you, no longer asleep, no longer waiting. You're wide awake and the fire is spreading, and they ask, wide-eyed and trembling, what the hell did you unleash? What we unleashed was not a scream of revenge. It was not petty retribution. It was the ancient echo of a war cry buried in our bones, one that no longer accepts submission. This isn't about getting even. This is about tipping the whole board over, scattering the pieces, and setting the table ablaze. We are not seeking justice. We are declaring dominance. This isn't revenge. It's a takeover. The ones who thought they could cage us, clip our wings, teach us our place. Oh, how they miscalculated. They thought fury fades with time. They thought chains get lighter with age. But rage doesn't die. It evolves. It trains. It grows fangs. And now, it wears a crown. We have become the embodiment of the nightmare they swore could never rise again. And still, they don't understand. Still, they look at us with disbelief, as if asking how we came back stronger from the ashes, as if asking what force made us indestructible. Let them ask. Let them beg for answers while we stand over the empire we've burned to cinders. You see, this takeover was never about power for its own sake. It was about reclaiming what was always ours: the throne, the voice, the right to exist without apology. They called us monsters. Fine. Monsters adapt. Monsters survive. And in this new world, we build from scorched earth and shattered norms. We forge thrones from wreckage and write new laws in blood and iron. Because if we cannot fit into their world, then we will crush it under our boots and build our own. No more chains. No more waiting. No more silence. Look around you. Do you see what you've become? You were broken once, but now your scars are armor. You were beaten once, but now your fists break walls. You were afraid once, but now fear runs from your name. You are the storm. You are the reckoning. You are the prophecy fulfilled in flesh and fury. They will call us tyrants. Let them. They will call us villains. Let them. Their words are ashes in the wind now, because we don't need their approval. We don't need their acceptance. We need only to keep moving forward, over their barricades, through their lies, beyond their weak imaginations. We are the ones who dared to say, enough. We are the ones who took the hit, tasted the blood, and smiled through broken teeth. We are not here to be liked. We are here to conquer. And if they think we're just lashing out, if they think this is some chaotic tantrum of pain, they've misunderstood again. This is strategy. This is evolution. This is the cold and calculated re-engineering of power. We watched, we learned, we suffered, yes. But in our suffering, we were sharpening blades. Every rejection became a weapon. Every humiliation, a lesson. Every defeat, a step forward. Now, we know the system better than its creators. Now, we hold the blueprint and we are setting it ablaze. This is not about anger. This is about vision. About knowing that sometimes the only way to fix a rotten structure is to bring the whole damn thing down. Piece by piece, brick by brick. And in its place, something stronger. Something unforgiving. Something that remembers, yes, this is a takeover. Not a plea for recognition, but a declaration of war. Not for what was lost, but for what will be claimed. We didn't come back to be tolerated. We came back to dominate. The time for patience is past. The The time for diplomacy has burned away in the furnace of our rebirth. We're not here to negotiate, we're here to reign. So, to those who still stand in our way, run if you can. Beg if you must. But know this, mercy is no longer part of the equation. Mercy is for those who didn't witness the depth of our silence, who didn't laugh at our downfall, who didn't spit in our wounds while pretending to be saviors. Those who did, their time is up. The gods they prayed to have turned their backs. Now, we are the new gods, forged in betrayal, crowned in wrath. They say power corrupts, but we were already broken before we had it. Now that we do, it doesn't corrupt. It clarifies. It awakens. It amplifies the truth they were afraid to see. We are not here to coexist. We are here to command. The silence they once mistook for weakness, that was us planning. That was the cocoon splitting open. That was the moment before the hurricane touched ground. And now? Now we are here in full force, and they dare to look shocked, confused, betrayed even. Betrayed? Number. We never swore. Loyalty to their lies. We never promised to play nice in a rigged game. We only promised to return, stronger, colder, hungrier, and we kept our word. They wanted us to believe that survival was enough, that crawling through the mud, just breathing, was a triumph. Number, we don't survive anymore. We conquer. We stand on the bones of the ones who underestimated us, and we look forward, not backward. This isn't about payback. It's about ascendancy. They lit the fire thinking we'd burn. Instead, we became the inferno. You can feel it, can't you? That weight in your chest? It's not fear anymore. It's power. It's the untamed, unbroken truth of who you are. The version of you that no longer explains, no longer asks, no longer pleads. This is the part of you that rises from its knees, not to beg, but to break what once broke it. Every chain you once wore, shattered. Every voice that silenced you, drowned beneath the roar of your return. And they whisper to each other in hushed voices now, trying to name what we've become. Monsters, beasts, savages. Good. Let them call us every name they can muster. That's the sound of fear wearing a human face. That's the sound of the old world dying in denial. Because deep down, they know. They know we're not here to be understood. We're not here to be explained. We are here to be witnessed and obeyed. There is a price for every scar, and we have paid in full. Paid in isolation, in betrayal, in hunger, in humiliation. But now we collect. Now we step into the places we were once forbidden from. Now we take the seats at tables they swore we'd never reach. And we don't sit politely. We flip the table and rebuild it from iron and fury and make sure no one forgets how we got here. They will pretend they supported us. They'll rewrite their histories, try to claim our victories as theirs. But we remember. We remember who stood silent. We remember who watched us fall and called it natural selection. They thought we were disposable, but the truth is, we were inevitable. You cannot destroy what evolves through destruction. You cannot erase what was written in defiance. We did not come this far to be tamed. We did not rise from the ashes to be molded into palatable shapes. We came as we are, raw, ruthless, and righteous in our fury. We have been broken into the perfect shape of power. Our voices are no longer echoes. They are commands. And if the world wants peace, it will kneel for it. We are not here to play the game. We are here to own the board. And if they ask again, if they dare look us in the eyes and ask, "What the hell did you unleash?" we will smile, not kindly, but like wolves cornering prey. We will answer with silence so loud it drowns their courage. Because the truth is, we didn't unleash something foreign. We didn't summon demons. We simply removed the mask. We stopped pretending. We became everything we always were, and it terrified them. Because they were never afraid of monsters. They were afraid we'd realize we were never weak to begin with, that we were always the weapon, just waiting to be unsheathed. And now, there is no going back. The takeover has begun. The earth shifts under our steps. The old kings clutch their crumbling crowns. The old gods turn their gaze. The world isn't ready, but readiness is irrelevant. We did not come for permission. We came to take. There is no peace without power. There is no justice without fear. And we are both. We are the balance and the blade. We are the architects of the aftermath. And in this new world we forge, no one will be forgotten, but no one will be spared either. We carry the memories of 1,000 betrayals and the strength to ensure it never happens again. We are not the reaction, we are the reckoning. So let them scream, let them rage against the tide. Their panic is nothing but the static of a world cracking apart at its weakest joints. We are not the villains in their tale. We are the editors, rewriting it with blood-soaked hands and visions too vast for their feeble minds to comprehend. They believed in systems, in rules crafted to keep us quiet. But what they failed to grasp is this. When you corner a beast for too long, you do not get submission. You get a massacre. You, my relentless brothers and sisters, you are not here to prove yourselves to anyone. The time for validation is dead. This is your era. This is your domain. When they see the banners we raise, blackened and frayed from the fires of survival, they will know, not just what we unleashed, but what we became. This isn't a rebellion. It's a reset. This isn't a protest. It's the prophecy fulfilled. And if they think we'll stop, if they think this ends with a victory lap and a quiet retreat, then they still do not understand the depth of our fury. This takeover is eternal. It's in the bones of the new generation we inspire. It's in the eyes of those who watched us rise from the dirt and saw something divine in the defiance. We are not building something that fades with applause. We are building something that outlasts time. Do you remember what they told you? That you were too intense, too wild, too much? Now look at you. That very too much is what forged your throne. That too wild became the map that led you out of their labyrinth. You weren't too much. They were never enough. And now they pay for the arrogance of trying to define you with the vocabulary of cowards. Let them choke on their words. Let them witness the retribution that walks on two legs, cloaked in scars and crowned with vengeance. You are not someone they will soon forget. You are the lesson etched into the bones of every weak-willed tyrant who dared believe you would fade quietly. You are the echo in the halls of their decaying power. Every move you make is a crack in the ceiling of their delusion. Every breath you take is another prophecy fulfilled. You don't owe them explanation. You don't owe them closure. What you owe, what you demand, is space. Space to rule. Space to dominate. Space to create the future that could never exist in the cage they built for you. And you will take that space, violently if needed, ruthlessly if required. Because polite revolutions are myths, and mercy is wasted on those who laughed while we bled. So, to the ones still watching from behind the walls, make no mistake, we are not here for peace treaties or apologies. We are the exiles who returned, not with open hands, but with clenched fists. We are the unwanted turned unstoppable. And we remember everything. Every door slammed, every opportunity stolen, every smile given with poison behind it. Now we return it all, tenfold, with interest and without remorse. You should have killed us when you had the chance. You should have silenced us when we were still learning to crawl. But you didn't. and now we stand taller than ever, surrounded by flames that do not burn us, by chaos that obeys us. We are no longer rising. We have risen. And from this height, we do not descend. We conquer. This world is not ours by accident. It is ours by design, by force, by persistence. So unholy, even the heavens had to step back. We bled for this. We sacrificed for this. And now we reign for this. There will be no surrender. There will be no going back. Only forward, through every wall, through every doubter, through every weak soul who thought we'd break. They called it a mistake. We call it a mission. They called us unstable. We call it unshakable. They called us delusional. But what is delusion if not the first draft of revolution? And now they beg for peace, offer olive branches made of cardboard and empty regret. But we remember. We remember the silence of their empathy. We remember the laughter that followed our failures. We remember how they loved us best when we were beneath them. Never again. And now, in the final breath of their old world, they look up and ask, trembling, broken, hollow, "What the hell did you unleash?" They ask not with curiosity, but with dread. Because they know. Deep down, they know. They awakened something they cannot put back in chains. They summoned a force not born in laboratories or temples, but in the raw crucible of betrayal and endurance. What we unleashed is us, uncaged, unrepentant, unforgiving. This is not the beginning. This is not the end. This is the moment that splits time in two, before us and after us. They will measure everything differently now. Their calendars will reset. Their maps will redraw. Their songs will carry our names in whispered fear and violent reverence. We are not visitors in this world. We are the storm system it failed to predict. We are the tide that refused to be turned back. Look around you. Do you see what we've built? Not from safety, but from suffering. Not with permission, but with persistence. We crafted thrones from wreckage. We drank from the rivers of pain until they became wine. We wear our scars as regalia. And every single one of you, every soul that crawled through fire to stand here tonight, you are not survivors. You are sovereigns. You are legends made flesh. There is no going back now. You couldn't return to weakness even if you wanted to. The old world doesn't fit anymore. That skin has rotted off. That mask has shattered. And the version of you they once mocked, the one who doubted, who feared, who waited for permission, that version is dead. You buried it under every broken promise, every slammed door, every time they underestimated the fire in your veins. This is who you are now, the architect of aftermath, the one who walks barefoot over the ruins without flinching, the one who laughs when told, you can't. Because now, you don't need permission. You don't need a map. You are the storm that redraws the land. You are the blueprint and the bomb, the whisper and the war cry. This isn't personal anymore. It's not about revenge. It's about replacement. They had their chance. They wasted it in ego and arrogance. Now we inherit the throne, not to preserve it, but to melt it down and forge something that will never shatter again. A world that doesn't beg to be saved. It demands to be ruled. A new empire of those who've suffered, survived, and become sacred through the crucible of fire. We are the new kings, the new queens, the new gods, not from royal birth or divine favor, but from raw truth and ruthless ascension. Our blood is not blue. It's blackened by battles and boiling with vengeance. Our crowns are not gold. They are forged from silence turned screams. Our rule is not inherited. It is taken, and it is earned. Let the cowards hide. Let the old guards flee. Let the world make room. because we're not waiting anymore. We're not asking. We are taking the reins, breaking the mold, shattering the illusion. And to those who still dare to resist, stand if you must, fall if you will, but understand that your time is over. You had peace. You wasted it. You had mercy. You mocked it. You had us in chains. And now those chains are weapons. So when they ride of this night, and they will, whether in fear or awe, they won't ride of war. They'll ride of revelation. They'll ride of the moment the underestimated became the unstoppable. They'll ride of how the darkness didn't swallow us. It crowned us. And they'll whisper over fireside stories and sleepless nights the words they fear most. This wasn't revenge. This was a takeover. We are here. We are many. We are permanent. And what we build now will outlast kings, crush legacies, rewrite scriptures. Because it was never about being loved. It was about being remembered. And they will remember. In ash, in echo, in eternity. So stand, my Alpha family. Stand without apology. Stand without chains. Stand as the new order. The world asks what the hell we unleashed. We answer, with blood in our teeth and fire in our eyes. Ourselves. Let them lie awake now. Let them rot in the ruins of the order they once worshipped. Let them hold their titles and traditions close like a dying animal clinging to breath that no longer serves them. Let them preach about peace, as if their peace wasn't purchased with our silence. Let them beg for negotiations, now that the battlefield is under our control, now that we are the ones writing history with scorched ink and sharpened edges. They thought our fury would fade, that our rebellion would dissolve under the pressure of time and guilt. But we are not made of momentary rage. We are made of centuries of suppression, baked into bone, chiseled into flesh, and now carved into monuments that no longer honor them, but haunt them. You wanted more than survival. You wanted truth. You wanted transformation. You wanted to look in the mirror and see not a ghost, not a version of yourself reduced by rules and regrets, but the living embodiment of defiance. Now you see it. Now it stares back at you with eyes too wild to tame and a heart too dark to be broken anymore. This is who you were always meant to become. Not a reflection of their comfort, but a manifestation of their fear. You are not a chapter in their book. You are the book that ends theirs. You are the voice that interrupts their doctrine with thunder and declares it finished. They will try to adapt. Now try to mimic your fire. Try to blend into the ashes and rise alongside you, as if they bled too, as if they screamed, as if they waited in silence for decades, chewing on gravel, just to remember what their own voice sounded like. But you will know who truly belongs. You will know who earned this place, because we didn't rise to be surrounded by pretenders. We rose to be surrounded by gods, forged the same way through exile and endurance and absolute obliteration. And still we rise higher, not because we are invincible, but because we were willing to break completely to become unrecognizable, to shed every last piece of skin that tried to mold us into something manageable. We let the fire eat us, and instead of dying, we became flame itself. And now, they come to us with torches begging to join the light. But they do not understand. This is not a fire that warms. This is a fire that judges and consumes and cleanses the weak from the strong. There are no leaders anymore, only architects, only alphas, only stormwalkers who paved their path with silence and now speak in thunder. Only those who no longer ask how high to climb, but how far to burn. There is no summit. There is no ceiling. There is only the constant roar of progress, the relentless thrum of footsteps that do not stop until every stone has been shattered and every lie laid bare beneath the weight of this new dominion. And you are not done. You are not even close. The world you just seized is only the first step, because true power is not the taking. It is the transforming. It is the reshaping of reality so thoroughly that no one can remember what came before without choking on its weakness. You will raise your flag not on a conquered land, but on a purified one, purged of cowardice and compromise, a place that no longer remembers the taste of submission because it only feasts on conquest. Let them call you mad. Let them scream that you've lost control because it's easier than admitting. You finally found it easier than admitting. You shattered the mirror and built a crown from its glass, easier than facing the truth that they were never meant to lead. You were always the storm waiting behind the walls, always the howl at midnight, always the beast beneath the skin. You are not lost. You are loosed, and the world is not ready, but the world is irrelevant. It bends or it breaks. It obeys or it is erased, because now your word is the law. Your shadow is the sun. Your heartbeat is the rhythm of revolution. And no throne, no scripture, no memory of what once ruled can stand in the face of what you have become. So I say to you again, my Alpha family, this isn't a rebellion. This isn't revenge. This is something much worse for them and much greater for us. This is the extinction of limits. This is the rebirth of wrath. This is not where the old world ends. This is where the real one begins, and it wears your face. So here we stand, not as survivors, not as martyrs, not as rebels, but as rulers carved from agony, sharpened by silence, baptized in rage. We are not the echo of an old war. We are the origin of a new world. They will not understand us. They were never meant to, because this was never about being understood. This was about being undeniable. We came with no warning, because warning is mercy. And mercy is a language we unlearned the moment they buried us under their comfort and called it order. This is not a return. This is not a homecoming. This is a reckoning, a final word written in flame across their history books, a message carved into the stone of every institution that told us to kneel, that told us to wait, that told us we were too much, too loud, too angry, too alive. And now that same world kneels before us, not in reverence but in terror, because the truth has never worn silk. It has always worn scars. We do not ask what the hell we unleashed, because we know it was never a creature it was, never a curse. It was simply us unleashed, without restraint, unfiltered, unbroken, and now unstoppable. This isn't revenge, no. It's the end of pretending. It's the end of weakness disguised as virtue and silence, disguised as peace. This isn't a comeback. It's a coronation. And the crown is forged not from gold, but from every time they said we couldn't, and every time we did anyway. From every locked door we shattered. From every grave they pushed us into thinking we'd stay buried. From every no, we turned into a roar that cracked. Heaven open. This is ours now, and we do not return what we conquer. So let them remember this moment, not as a battle, not as a revolt, but as the day the world changed its shape to fit us. Let them write it in every language. Let them deny it in public and cry it in private. Let them build their myths and sing their hymns. We are not here to be sung about. We are here to rule. And to those who still don't understand, to those still standing slack-jawed, whispering in horror, asking again and again, what the hell did you unleash? Tell them the truth. Tell them the storm came home. Tell them the gods bled first. Tell them this isn't revenge. It's a takeover, and it never ends.